We're all going to take a little trip back through time. I want you to imagine the year is 1985. Just remember how different the world was back then. No internet, no cell phones. I was on the subway. I got on at Christopher Street, the #1 train heading north. I just had a guitar lesson with the late, great Dave Van Ronk. And I was going home, and a couple stops later, I recognized an actress who got on the train, too. I didn't know her name at the time, but I recognized her because she plays Goldie Hawn's mom in Private Benjamin. And she plays the boy with blonde hair's mother in Breaking Away, the great terrific bicycle movie. And here she was riding the subway. I would think an actress of her stature would at least be in a taxi, if not a town car. So, I was going to be getting off at 72nd Street, and I decided that when I got off, I would walk by her and say something nice so she'd know that I recognized her. But in real life, I'm very shy. So I was sitting there trying to screw up my courage, coming up to 72nd Street, and she gets up to get off the train because it's her stop too. I didn't expect that, so I went to plan B. I started to follow her. She's a famous actress, movies and TV. I recognize her as we climb the stairs of the IRT. We cross the street together, we're moving up Broadway. I'm trying to come up with something clever I can say about how I love her work, what it means to me, how in her most recent film she acted brilliantly. Maybe she'll think I'm stupid, maybe this'll make her day. But she disappeared into the crowd, and the moment slipped away. Well, of course, I found out her name was Barbara Barrie. She's the actress I was talking about before, who was in the flash mob on Sunday, Duffy Square. And I wrote the song in 1985 and recorded in 1986. Record came out. Pages of the calendar flip. And I sang the song many, many places, and I would always tell people, that's Barbara Barrie, that's her name, so you can play a little music video in your mind. And eventually word got back to her, and in 1997 I got a card from her. She said, "Dear Miss Lavin, I think I'm the actress in the first verse of your song, The Moment Slipped Away. Here's my phone number, please call me up, let's have tea. Sincerely, Barbara Barrie." But I was too shy to call her. "I'm sorry, I'm disappointing you." It was before I was a knitter. Now that I'm a knitter, I can do anything, because I got something in my hands. But anyway, the years go by. Pages of the calendar flip. And now it was August 2001. I was at a tiny little radio station in Bridgeport, Connecticut, WPKN. They were having a membership drive, asking people to join the station and pledge $5 a month. And the phones were not ringing. And I took it personally because I was on the air to help. So without really thinking it through, I thought, wait a minute. I think Connecticut has the highest per capita income of all 50 states. I don't think they're asking for enough money. So I just blurted out, if you call the station now and pledge $100, I will bake a loaf of petit pain au chocolat and FedEx it to you the next day. 18 people called the station. The station was thrilled, but I left, knowing that I had to make 18 loaves of bread. You know it takes 10 and a half hours, because you got the recipe now. But you make 4 at a time, so it's not that bad. But I looked at my calendar to see, because I figure I had to do them all at the same time, because if I sent some and not the others, they'd think, oh, there's an A list and a B list. So I looked at my calendar for when I had 10 and a half hours in a row, and it was September 9th and September 10th, 2001. So on September 9th, I started 18 loaves of petit pain au chocolat. And at 8:45 on September 10th, I was standing in line at Federal Express with 18 little boxes. I got them all out in time. I was so happy to have that assignment done, but you know, if you've ever been on a baking jag, that when you finish a big assignment, you just want to bake a little more and keep it. So that night, September 10th, I started 4 more loaves of petit pain au chocolat. So the morning of September 11th. Well, there's no way I was going to bake. So I put the starter into the refrigerator. And I went over to my neighbor Martha's house, and probably like all of you, we were glued to the television, watch what was happening at Ground Zero in Manhattan, and what had happened in that field in Pennsylvania and at the Pentagon. And we were just a few miles away from Ground Zero. We wanted to help. We called the Red Cross, couldn't get through, finally got through. They didn't need any more blood. So I just told my friends, I said, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to bake some petit pain au chocolat. And they were like, what? Now? I said, I'm not doing anybody any good here. And I started it last night. So I went home, and as I was baking the bread, I had the television on. And I heard that my local firehouse, ladder number 25 on West 77th Street in Manhattan, was missing 7 men. So when I finished baking the breads, I packed them up and I brought one over to the firehouse. And for the next 2.5 months, whenever I had 10.5 hours in a row, I would bake 4 loaves of petit pain au chocolat for ladder 25. And I watched the firehouse turn into a shrine with pictures and candles and poems and flowers. And we all did whatever we could to stay sane during such a difficult time. And for me, it was baking for the firehouse. And so one day, I had a really great batch. They were still really warm, and I was bringing them over to the firehouse. And as I got closer, there were 2 firemen out front, and they saw me coming, and they started whispering in a way that I knew was not good. So when I got up to them, I said, hi, guys, I've got 4 loaves of petit pain au chocolat for you. And they said, lady, you got to find yourself a new hobby. I was like, was there something wrong with the last batch? And they said, no. We just all had physicals and we got weighed, and we've all gained at least 20 pounds. So doctor's orders, we can no longer accept sweets from the neighbors. I said, but they're really warm. They said, sorry. So I left, and I didn't know what to do. I thought, well, I'm going to find a firehouse with skinny firemen, and I'm going to feed them. So I did what I always did after I would drop off the breads. I would go to Fairway to get more ingredients to bake more. So I get a shopping cart. I'm going through Fairway, and guess who I see at Fairway with a shopping cart? Barbara Barry, yes! So I started to follow her again. This lasted for all of about 30 seconds. She turned around and she went like this. What? And I said, Miss Barry, I am so sorry. I'm the songwriter who wrote The Moment Slipped Away. You sent me a card, said we should have tea. She said, that was like 5 years ago. I said, I know, but I'm really shy. So she was so sweet. So we stood there talking, and she was buying ingredients to make chicken soup for her husband because he was sick. And as happens if you've ever run into a friend or somebody you know in the grocery store, she was like checking out my cart and I was checking out hers. And she saw those 4 little breads that she could tell by the way that they were wrapped that I didn't buy them there. And she said, what's that? I couldn't come up with a story, so I told her, I said, I've been baking for ladder number 25. They all gained 20 pounds. They don't want my breads anymore. So she leaned in and she said, I don't have a weight problem. I'll take them off your hands. So for the next year, whenever I was on a bacon jag, I would bake for Barbara Barry and her husband, Jay. Kind words don't move the earth, but if they can improve your self-worth, why do I let these moments pass me by? Instead, I'm quick to judge and I'm quick to blame. I'm quick to criticize, quick to maim. It's hard to change, but I'll try. So maybe it's your best friend or the next stranger you see. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. Who needs to hear encouragement to make it through the day? Who needs to hear whatever kind words you might have to say? It doesn't matter where you're going. or where you have been. Right now is the perfect moment for us to begin to appreciate each other in new and different ways. Please don't let another golden moment slip away. Appreciate each other more and more each day. Oh, now, please don't let another golden moment slip away.
I never want to use any of those sprays or oils. I always use the good stuff. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to cover it with plastic.
Oh, thank you.
My phone's ringing. It's Dawn White calling. Hi, Dawn. I'm baking petit pain au chocolat with a camera. I'm trying to teach it to people. But, I'm going to turn the camera off so I can talk to you.
Bon appetit.